thing.
All right, friends, as prefaced, it's a one guest town on episode 34 of the Spicer Speaking podcast, the 1 year anniversary of the Spicer Speaking podcast. We got one guest. It's a good thing that we got a quality one, a very timely one. Welcome, Ernest Cecena, among other titles. Ernest, appreciate you joining, man. Ernest is the chair of the Tahquitz Golf Course Neighborhood Association. He is also the president of Save Palm Springs Golf, which you can read all about at savepsgolf.org. Ernest opened up this show telling listeners, and now as we welcome viewers as well, about a new article that just came out in recent days for me for Golf Course Industry Magazine regarding AB 672, which, albeit a totally failed legislative attempt, at the onset, everybody in that article, and these are industry experts across the West Coast, that this thing was going to come back. It was going to come back more refined. It was going to come back more focused. You and I both received literature yesterday. I know I got mine from the SCGA, Government Affairs Association, and Craig Kessler saying that, they've already done it. They told me in this article when we put together a couple months ago that this thing is going to be sharper. It's going to be more dangerous to municipal golf courses that want to turn into affordable housing. Undoubtedly a problem here in Southern California, but didn't take that long. They've already refined it. And when the new session starts in January, it's a 2-year bill and it's coming right back. Getting to what you are doing regarding the 36 holes at Tahquitz, I was just out there a couple of weeks ago. I was playing, I believe it was the Legend course with my boy Gabe Ayala, and we couldn't help but notice. And he asked me, I think from the first or second hole, he's like, "Dude, what are those signs?" And right. I said, through the course of the round, I'm gonna tell you more about what those Save PS golf signs are. That I felt it was impressive to see in a lot of yards and a lot of lawns across that golf course, and I can trust all 36 holes. Give us the lay of the land, man. I know that this situation a little bit different than what we're talking about with AB 672, but it's still totally in the same wheelhouse. A municipal public golf facility is under threat of being turned into something else.
True. CPS Golf, as the chairman of TCG neighborhood, Tahquitz Creek Golf neighborhood, it's been just talked about ever since I moved here, and I've only been here about a year. And it's been different things. It's already been sold. It's going to be sold. It's nothing you can do. I mean, just information. Nobody really had facts. And there was a lot of neighbors that were getting concerned, obviously, for different reasons. And they kind of started splitting off, doing their own thing, trying to make people aware, trying to just get the word out, let everybody know, feel included in participating and doing something. And it was kind of all over the place. As the chairman, I felt I had to get them organized. I mean, I had people reaching out to me, just please, if there's anything that you can do. And so I felt organized. We have to get organized if we want to get any kind of message across to anybody. So a neighbor actually was the one that created the signs. And he had also put out some flyers. We had some people that did want to start a paper petition, posts online. So he created the yard signs, which was amazing. And they took off like wildfire. So he had volunteers walking, going door to door, handing them out to neighbors. And this was just, again, wanted everyone to be aware. He wasn't asking for money, just wanted to get them out there. And it took off. From there, I went ahead and I started the petition, trying to help out another neighbor that wanted to start going door to door. I figured there's got to be an easier way online. So we started the petition. We're up to over 1,700 signatures right now. And it was until another friend had said, "Hey, do you know this person?" And I said, "No, I don't know who this person you're speaking of is." And they said, "Well, he's already claimed to captured the domain of Save PS Golf," and it kind of course, caught my attention. And he gave me his information, reached out, and Richard and I have, he's a golfer. here on Tahquitz, saw the signs, very similar to what you did, and he too wanted to get involved. And so we partnered up. He wanted to get the website going. And I mean, within days, it seemed like we created Safe PS Golf.
Let's talk about the Oswit Land Trust. Now, in I guess contrast to what I mentioned with AB 672, again, that bill is aimed at taking away protections, park protections, essentially, that golf courses have enjoyed, deservedly so, in my opinion, for over a half century. That is not the aim with the Oswit Land Trust, what they have intention to try and do with the 36 holes at Tahquitz. They're trying to turn it into something else.
They are trying to turn it into something else, a desert preserve. And as soon as I say that, everyone asks, what is that? It has been, they do have their website. They have a lot of pretty pictures, but we haven't yet, we still don't understand fully what a desert preserve is going to look like. The way I understand it with talking to Oswit, it can be anything that we want it to be. Well, we just haven't seen a lot of plans come to fruition at this point. There's still a lot of questions on how they would be able to maintain such a large parcel, because it's their plan is not just Tahquitz Creek Golf, the 36 holes. It's also Mesquite and Bel Air golf courses. And they are totally different situations, in our opinion. We actually support Oswit in their movement towards Bel Air. Bel Air has been dilapidated, closed. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
Yeah, it's been shut down for like a decade, 8 years, something like that.
Yeah, it's an eyesore. It really is. I'm sure the neighborhood surrounding it is more than welcoming a desert preserve. Change, just change. The Mesquite, it's privately owned. We don't have much control there, but I believe it's public information. That owner is looking to develop it or sell it to a developer and turn it into condos. That's an actual threat. And that exists. And so I could see where the neighborhood is wanting to prevent condos from going in. Tahquitz Creek Golf is not the same situation. It is a municipal golf course. The city is not actively trying to sell it. Currently, there is no developer that's banging on their door saying we want to purchase this. Majority of it is in a FEMA flood zone. Most of the resort course and the Legends course is in a FEMA flood zone, which adds an additional complication for any kind of developer wanting to come in here. Impossible? No. Difficult? Very difficult.
Well, the courses rather are not technically for sale. The land has been appraised, and the city did partake in financing that appraisal, correct?
And they did. They went ahead, they split the cost with Oswit, which I believe kind of gave everyone maybe the wrong intention of what the city was doing. The city was approached by Oswit and talking with city council. It was just agreed upon that in order to entertain any kind of offer, they needed to understand the value of the property. It'd been a while since an appraisal had been done, and so they moved forward with it. But what it did was it sparked a lot of people to question, why are they partnering up with Oswit, thinking that this was already a done deal, and rumors really started to just escalate after that. And that's what we've been trying to do, is just bring facts to people.
Along with the timing of AB 672. And again, friends, that's going to come back. It's a 2-year bill. The onset of the year, it's going to be right there. Timing is also key in this matter, Ernest, in that citywide listening or community input session. The city is interested in hearing from Palm Springs residents, and that timing, we're right in the sweet spot right now, correct?
Correct. They've announced that they will be hosting a listening session, a citywide listening session. That right now, tentative date is for late October. We had asked if they can push it. Originally, it was for September. We just wanted to make sure everyone was back in town, so we asked for October. So we're still working with that time frame. It looks like it most likely won't be live. It will be Zoom, considering COVID conditions at the time. and we're anticipating a very large turnout for saving the golf courses.
Friends, you're tuning into the Spicer Speaking Podcast. My guest is Ernest Cecena. He's the chair of the Tahquitz Golf Course Neighborhood Association. He is additionally the president of Save Palm Springs Golf. All the things that we've been talking about on this episode, you can find online at savepsgolf.org, including but not limited to a link to the petition that has been created, which has a lot of signatures, mine included, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I know that when you put out these petitions, most people put a goal. Not everybody, but most people do. I believe that yours was maybe 2,500. Is that correct, Ernest?
We weren't aiming for a number.
Okay.
It was really just trying to get anyone that shares the same opinion to bring them together and present that to City Council.
Okay, but what do you think is a palpable number that you would personally like to reach when you present this to the City Council?
I mean, the more the merrier. I mean, honestly, I was very excited to see when we hit over 1,000.
Okay.
That first week that it was out, I want to say we had about 700-800 signatures. It was going very fast. Again, over 1,700. Again, still very happy with that, but always looking for more signatures, more people that want to participate or just get involved in any way, shape, or form.
I'm talking about that involvement. We mentioned the petition. I've got a few friends and colleagues that have also donated a few bucks, but among those options, people that are concerned about this, concerned about potentially losing these golf courses or losing this property for alternate purposes, what can they do? What do you suggest they do?
It just depends on how much they want to get involved. I mean, it can be as simple as signing a petition. It could be putting up a yard sign. Right now, I do have some extra yard signs that I'd be willing to give out to anybody locally, just to get that word out. And then if they want to get actually involved, by all means, reach out to me, and because we're handing out flyers on the golf course at certain weekends. I think we'll be out there this next weekend on the Legends course. There's a number of different things that we can come up, and just if you have an idea, we're always looking for ideas from people to just how else can we get the word out and find our supporters.
Ernest, I'm impressed with what you've put together, and this is very much a grassroots effort. I mean, this is not
really
you're not doing this full time, man. And we don't need to talk about what your 9 to 5 or what your career, your day job is.
Right.
But you're making time. You're making time in your own busy day and busy schedule for this cause.
Mm-hmm.
What's at the root of you making time for this? You got to be super motivated, super passionate deep down somewhere. What's the reason?
The passion. Well, I mean, the obvious reason, I live right here on the Legends course, right here off of the 8th hole. When my husband and I found this house, it's probably the closest thing that we're going to get to paradise. It's gorgeous. We love the neighborhood. There was that initial my backyard kind of thing, but it turned into just being so much more. I mean, just the community itself around here, around the golf courses, neighborhood has just been more than welcoming since we moved in. And we've been through so much, just like the rest of the city, with homelessness, security issues, just scared. They were scared, they were nervous, and I wanted to help. And I hear them not just necessarily scared, but they too are motivated. They want to help. They want to get out there. They want to donate. They want to storm City Hall. They want to. Sometimes I have to calm them down a little. Just let's hold on. But they keep me going. And we're talking about people well into their 80s that are just concerned for their property, their livelihoods, security. They keep me motivated. There's so much more with the golf course. You don't have to be. I'm not a golfer. In all honesty, I'm not. You don't have to be a golfer to understand that. I mean, golf brings so much more than any sport, really. I mean, the discipline that comes with it. Some of the first tee groups that the children golf tournaments that they have here. municipal golf courses are typically more affordable. And with affordability comes diversity. Something that I know Tahquitz Creek Golf is very proud of, that I want to make sure that I continue to keep going.
Made a number of excellent points there. Again, just to reference or re-reference my recent article for Golf Course Industry. I mean, the word that was probably most used, except for or the in the article, was accessibility, in that public golf, municipal golf, and there's a bunch of statistics in there that are supported by these expert sources, is that these golf courses, by way of diversity, by way of affordability, they create accessibility. This is pound for pound by far the biggest entryway into the game for most people, or most kids, or most junior golfers. You know, the other thing that you said, Ernest, I mean, when I first heard about you, and even before I started digging, I mean, in my mind's eye, I thought, okay, this must be a guy that has lived here a long time and that plays that golf course like 5 times a week. But you are neither one of those things, which makes your efforts all the more impressive.
I do what I can. And like I said, it's the community that keeps me going. I mean, because without getting into what I do Monday through Friday, it can be exhausting, but you make time. You make time.
8th hole. Take a look for a Callaway Red 1 in your backyard. I think that I may have knocked one somewhere near your property line when we were playing there last. Let me ask you lastly, Ernest. I mean, we mentioned the signs, we mentioned the signatures. I should say the signs plurally, because there's a lot of them. Are you sensing a majority support from neighbors that also live on the property, that they are on your side of this this cause?
Clearly. We've recently reached into try to get into the HOAs that are around here. We do have a few condo associations, and they're gated, and they do follow different rules, but we have been able to reach out to them, and many of their boards do support us. They've managed to work around putting in signs and windows, because you can't necessarily post them, but it's great to see how they want to participate as well.
Ernest, so appreciative of your time. Again, totally respect this grassroots effort that you're helping to lead. Friends, stay tuned for these upcoming announcements. These are going to be happening sometime in the next 4 or 5 weeks, where you, gentle listener, can play an important part, where you can have a voice in this process. Ernest, to conclude, is savepsgolf.org the best way to follow these announcements? Do you have any other suggestions for how folks can keep tabs on what's going on, or how they can participate?
Right now, the petition is the best way that we're getting out updates. Since anyone that does sign, I can push updates too. We are trying to get better at sending out regular updates at least once a week. And so if you could please sign, that would include your email, and from there on, you'll be able to, we can stay in communication.
Ernest, thank you again so much for your time. I'm personally a proponent of saving PS Golf, saving Palm Springs Golf. And again, friends, savepsgolf.org to learn all kinds of information that they've got on a very clearly drawn website. There's some complex issues here, but I like the wording. I like the layout that you guys and gals have used to clearly get across the message, and to clearly get across your mission. You're going to be keeping close tabs on this for both writing and broadcast endeavors. Keep up the great work, Ernest. And again, thanks for joining the program, sir.
Sure thing. Thank you, Judd.